What's up, guys? Right now, we're in the middle of beautiful area in Ohio right now, looking at the Ohio Central Railroad. This is a Genesee Wyoming owned operation that a long time ago was owned by a rail fan just like us. Right now, we're chasing a train with two SD40s bracketing a Jeep, but how did we end up here? Let's rewind to this morning and see how the day started. It's about 7 a.m. on Friday, May 31st, and I'm in Newark, Ohio. Typically, when I'm filming a short-line railroad, I like to do as much preemptive research as possible. However, I went into this adventure knowing very little about this railroad or how they operate. I did know, however, that Newark was a main hub for the Ohio Central's operations, so I started there and hoped that luck would be on my side today. Before long, the first train of the day would enter town, the Sky-O Turn, running from Coshocton, Ohio to Newark and back. At this point, I was still completely green to the Ohio Central Railroad and had no idea what this job was going to do. However, thanks to a friend I made on Facebook that morning, I learned that the turn would soon head back to Coshocton, so I waited for them to run around their train and continue headed back east. After about an hour of switching, the chase was on as Ohio Central's Sky-O Turn headed back east for Coshocton. So at this point in the day, I had no plan for what I was going to film next or where I was going to go. I decided to drive south to the small railroad town of Zanesville, Ohio, which I had read was another base for the OHCR. Upon arriving, I found a set of 4 EMD SD locomotives in various paint schemes sitting in the yard, but no movement at this time. The day changed for the better when I found out that a stone train was running from Byesville, Ohio back into Zanesville with a unique set of power. I made a quick decision to try to find this train out on the system, but in the search for it, I came across a few relics from the now defunct Byesville Scenic Railway, which has not run a train since 2011. While filming these seemingly abandoned pieces of rolling stock, I heard an EMD rumble from behind me and found the stone train working at the quarry in Byesville, with a former Union Pacific SD40-2 running longhood forward, pulling the train into the plant. Seeing 2 EMD veterans enjoying very different fates just a few hundred feet away from each other was very, very curious, but certainly something interesting. Before long, it was time for our second train chase of the day as the stone train began to head west for Zanesville. More relics from that now defunct scenic railroad greeted me as I made my way into downtown Byesville. There were some really cool signals here too, and you guys know that I love vintage railroad signaling, so this was certainly one of my favorite shots of the whole day. the Stone Train and Sky-O Turn completing their respective runs, I was left once again to figure out what to do. And so like any confused rail fan does, I made my way back to where the day all started, Newark. Facebook proved to be a vital tool of this day, as I learned quickly that the evening NKZV was preparing to leave Newark. I chased the NKZV all the way into Zanesville. However, upon arriving into town, I found another local switching a plant just on the outskirts of Zanesville. Interestingly enough, a truck had hit this crossing gate, so it wasn't doing much good for this railroad today. I had learned from a local rail fan earlier in the day that 4-pack of SDs that we found earlier in the day would eventually be used to take the NKZV's train onto its final destination. So, in hopes that these engines would run when the NKZV arrived into Zanesville, I hung around in the yard for that train to arrive, and I was very pleased as the day ended with probably the best lash-up of the day, leaving the town of Zanesville. As promised, my personal favorite lash up of the day pulled out of the yard and prepared to take the NKZV's consist all the way to its destination. I was very thankful that the day went a lot better than I expected, considering I didn't do too much research going into this chase, but thanks to a few Facebook friends and a lot of luck, I was able to get some awesome operations on the OHCR.